G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is Friday, the 19th of July 2019, and the time here is 10:20 Australian Eastern Standard Time. Folks, this video will be financial mainly, but look, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for your great comments. It really means a lot, and it has actually helped me out, and I'm guessing the prayers have also helped. Like I feel stronger mentally and emotionally, and I guess, you know, some of you quite rightly pointed out, you just have to get on. You know, you can't crawl under a rock and just sort of emotionally let things overtake you, because then you will crack. I'm a strong individual, without saying too much, but you know, I led a pretty horrendous, violent lifestyle when I was younger, and you know, as you get older, you tend to soften a bit. And look, your kids are your kids. You know that at the end of the day, you try to bring them up right, and you know, you give them love and protection, etc., and that never stops, even when they're adults, you know. But at the end of the day, you have to move on, and I am moving on, a little by little, and I have gotten a lot stronger, as I said, from all the prayers and the comments, the great comments. To the guy who said, "You're going bald," yeah, I am, but hey, I'm nearly 60 and I've still got a little bit of hair left. Not like a lot of people, you know, so even that comment that was one comment that made me laugh my head off, actually, and I probably needed that more than anything. But like I said, thank you for the prayers, and for the great support, and it's probably why I'm here again today, because I've realised that, you know, not just me, but we have built a community, and that community goes right around the world, which is just amazing. You know, I got so many comments from different people from different countries. It's heartening. You know, it's very heartening, and it makes me feel very glad inside, you know. And I've got to show this to one of my brothers, my Zendu Kai brother. Yeah, you're all right, you know, and that's all I'm going to say. For you people who don't know what an old school Zendu Kai martial artist was, we are a brotherhood, for want of a better term, and you know, we live by a credo of we will never, if we see a brother in trouble, we have to help that brother out, regardless of what it is. And that was the old style, and I don't know if the new style so much, you know, the new Zendu Kais fighters are like that, but in the old school, you know, in the 80s, you would literally, I would, even to this day, if I died supporting a brother or someone who was wearing a cross or someone that asked for my protection, then I've died a warrior's death, and I'm very happy, regardless of what the other outcome on the other side is. You know, that's, to me, is the ultimate. And a lot of people don't understand that about us and the old school. But it's really good to run into an old school guy, and we don't even have to say anything. We just shake hands. We've got a handshake that only we know as well. So it's, you know, you don't even have to say anything. It's just a brotherhood, and I'll say that in a good way, you know, not in a bad way. You know, we don't go around looking for violence, but if you want us to give it to you, we will give you a lot of violence. It's as simple as that, whether that's the right terminology. So look, to him, I say thank you. Alrighty, let's move on. As always, here is my sponsor, my great sponsor, Totally Rawsome, who make golden activated turmeric paste. If you have not tried golden activated turmeric paste, you are missing out on something, especially as you're getting older, folks. This thing, I use it every day for my joint pain, for my knees and elbows, and my hands and everything else. It's great stuff. It it just really, really does work. That's I can only just tell you from using it myself. Okay. Now, the guys have asked me to tell you that they are doing a one-off offer for first-time deliveries to the UK. And I guess that kind of must mean Europe as well, but I'm not sure. There's a problem with the UK market where the cost to get it delivered to the UK is prohibitive for some reason. I don't understand why, but they will meet you halfway on the cost for delivery on your first delivery. So if you want to order this stuff through these guys and try this stuff out, and I've actually got emails and comments back from people in the UK who have actually tried it and took the plunge to get it, and they love it, absolutely love it, especially with the weather in the UK. Yeah, grim. Okay. As I said, this video is going to be financial. Deutsche Bank. Let's talk about Deutsche Bank. And I'm kind of going to gloat here because there was a lot of you, not a lot of you, but some of you, and I got some pretty heavy comments as regards to my view on Deutsche Bank. And like I said, this is not financial advice. I'm an economic hack. I just follow the financials so I can look after my family. That's basically it. But I did advise you that Deutsche Bank was technically broke. During this last week, Deutsche Bank made the announcement they are literally selling one half of their business. They're getting out of the financial business and literally just selling it off. There's something like 30,000 jobs that are going because of that decision. Let that sink in. It's probably more than that, to be honest with you. These guys are huge. Like there's people don't understand how big Deutsche Bank is and how many fingers they have in every pie. Now, there's one other thing that I'm going to say to you about Deutsche Bank. Oh, and Germany. And if you're in Germany, I guess it'd be interesting to get some comments from anybody back in Germany or you know anybody in Germany and how they're perceiving the current alignment with China. Because they have literally done a 90-degree right turn, right, being to America at the top. And they've done a 90-degree left and right turn, actually, to Russia and China. And are basically now missing out the American side of the equation. Now, you don't believe me, do your research, but it's fact. And all of us need to be extremely, extremely worried about that. So much so that recently the Germans are actually talking about, this is hard to believe, they're actually talking about fully aligning themselves with China financially and via trade, i.e. dumping the American dollar, which is just staggering. Like, even 2 years ago, if you told me that, I would have gone, never going to happen. So do you see how this is playing out, folks? This is getting really, really bad. Now, you have to ask yourself, why would Germany align themselves with Russia and China? The only reason that I personally can figure out is for one reason and one reason alone, and that's gold. Because I believe the Germans think that they have all the gold, or the majority of the gold, and the Americans have nothing. Also, you would probably think that the Germans have taken a 50-year view of the world in 50 years' time, and America's just gone down by the wayside, and that may very well be the case. But I don't see America under Trump, and I'm trying to be what's the term? I'm trying to foot in both camps, if you know what I mean. Although I support Trump, there's some things he does, he's just a wally. But America is now in a position of strength because of Trump, if that makes sense, financially and politically worldwide, and is starting to put their foot down more and more. This Strait of Hormuz thing is, a case in point. So look, I'll read you the article. I'll show you the articles as regards to the Deutsche Bank. Hang on a second. Okay. Well, this is one of the articles. If you just go on Google and just type in Deutsche Bank at the moment. Now, this is important, and you need to listen to this. As soon as an article on Deutsche Bank comes up, I'd actually be really interested to see what the German mainstream media is saying or telling everyone as regards to Deutsche Bank. If you guys know of anybody that lives in Germany and can send us information on that, I'd really appreciate that, because it would be really interesting just to see how much the German people know about what's going on at Deutsche Bank. Now, I said to you guys that Deutsche Bank is in a massive trouble, and they are. And even after they've done all this, and I'll show you in a second, they are literally cutting half they're just literally cutting their bank in half and selling half of it. Now, it's just not that easy for Deutsche Bank to do that. And the ECB is literally crapping themselves. Why are they crapping themselves? Because Deutsche Bank is aligned with every financial structure that they have with all the other banks in Europe and the US, but majority in Europe. So Deutsche Bank will have, billions of dollars with another bank and, several other banks. So if Deutsche Bank decides to, we'll tell you what, we're going to get out of the financial markets, the hedge markets, then there are banks literally at the moment shitting bricks, because they're either going to have to do one or two things: sell off their divisions or buy up the other half of Deutsche Bank's stuff with them. This is a case in point. BNP Paribas, that's the right terminology, they both have a deal of 168 billion. It'll be more than that, because that won't be the only thing that they'll have going on. So these guys, that's okay, let's say $200 billion that BNP Paribas, or whatever their bloody name is, has to stump up to get rid of their half of the Deutsche Bank problem. And they haven't got the money. None of these guys have got the money at the moment, none. Now, even after Deutsche Bank said that they were selling off half of their division, right, this is what happened to their shares. They're at $6.07 or €6 or whatever the hell it is. They were down to 5, remember? Technically, and this is not from me, this is from financial analysts who know what they're talking about, who have been on Greg Hunter's show, who are actually experts in the field, have said quite openly, the day Deutsche Bank goes below $10 a share, they are effectively bankrupt. So now, they made an announcement where they're going to sell half of their company off. See you later. Well, their shares just rose like 50 cents because they are a toxic asset. And I told you guys, I said that Deutsche Bank's in a shitload of trouble. And not only that, the financial system in the EU is in a shitload of trouble. Why do you think the UK is trying desperately to get out of it, even though they've got no real ties to it? financially. So, as I said to you guys that Deutsche Bank is going to either do one or two things, or the leaders of the EU and the financial, gurus, whoever running the show in the EU, are going to do one or two things. They're either going to let Deutsche Bank implode, or they're going to support Deutsche Bank and let two or three other banks implode. Do you see where this is going now? They've made the decision that they have to save Deutsche Bank. They have to. Hence the reason why Germany is aligning themselves with China and Russia, not America's, because Americans, they don't care. They're just like, oh, well, Deutsche Bank fails, tough shit. But the EU cannot let Deutsche Bank fail. It's as simple as that. If they let Deutsche Bank fail, literally within hours, the whole financial system collapses. But if I said to you, that French bank, BNP Paribas, and I don't know, some Italian bank and some bank in Portugal, shut it up its doors, and you'd go, oh, yeah, so what? But the funds needed to support Deutsche Bank are monumental. So basically what the EU is saying is we can't afford to bail Deutsche Bank out, so we're going to have to reorganise it so that we actually get rid of two or three other banks, use their funds to support Deutsche Bank. Now, I did say within the first month of this happening that you will start to see bank closures in Italy, Portugal, France. A big one in France will go. There's no two ways about it. They just can't survive. If Deutsche Bank decides to do this, they can't survive. It's impossible. Not unless they hold their hand up in front of the world and go, we need to get bailed out because we're in big shit because Deutsche Bank sold us out. And that's not going to happen, because in those little dark rooms somewhere, there's people sitting down going, oh, geez, how are we going to get out of this mess? I know. Let's sacrifice a few banks. That's how ridiculously stupid these people are, and that's how they think. If you haven't figured that out so far, then there's no help for you, really. So look, please keep an eye on Deutsche Bank. Everything to do with Deutsche Bank. It's really, really important. The Americans have literally thrown Germany to the wolves, because I'm guessing Germany asked America for help as regards to Deutsche Bank, and the Americans just went, we're a Republican government now, we don't care, just let it fail. Hence, a 90-degree left and right turn from Germany to Russia and China. It's a pretty severely mixed up world financially we are living in at present, folks. It's like I said to you, if you said to me even 2 years ago that Germany was going to align itself with Russia and China, I would have just laughed at it. So look, there's a lot of things going on at the moment, and can I just say to you, can I say to all Australians who are watching this, and New Zealanders, because this is important for the Kiwis as well, Scott Morrison is now being summoned. Forget about the fact that he got offered a bloody dinner, state dinner and shit. That's just two-way speak for he got told to go to America, explain the situation with Downer and the previous government, and two, where do your loyalties lie, friend? After he goes to America, they're going to make this big speech about, we're the best ally in the world and blah, 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 blah. And they're going to have we're still good friends with China, blah, 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 blah. But there is slowly but surely being a massive realignment with America on the Australian political scene. How do I know that? Well, how can I state that? We just had a massive bloody military exercise where China was spying off us off the coast. slowly but surely, and this is really interesting because it doesn't get much news. The American base in Darwin is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And as I've always told you guys, always, there's this huge thing called Pine Gap, which is the Americans' spying version of, for the world. They are, if you take out Pine Gap or they lose Pine Gap, they literally become defenseless. They can't hear anything around the world. This is fact. It's not fiction, that's fact. That's why it's there. Because Australia is at the bottom of the world, the radio waves go like that. They don't go like that. So they need Pine Gap. They listen to everything from Pine Gap. Don't kid yourself that they don't. Everything is goes through Pine Gap. So look, it's interesting times ahead. And as we said, prepare. To the people who commented on the veggies and that, well done. Yeah, you get there. Now's the time to start planning, folks. And I'm being dead serious. Dead serious. All right, let's say the prayers. Wait till you see the Bible verse for today. As I said, I click on it just before I say it because I don't want to be influenced or have any influence. I don't want it to have any influence over my show. So I click on it just before, I say it. It's really interesting to me that I keep doing these videos and the word that I'm looking, or the words that I need personally, and I guess worldwide, come up 98% of the time. It's like I got God standing on my shoulder telling me stuff. Here is the verse of the day. I will praise you with an upright heart as I learn your righteous laws. I'm going to say this again. And it's Psalm 119:7 NIV. Don't even know what that means. I will praise you with an upright heart as I learn your righteous laws. Bloody hell, how prophetic is that? I really needed to hear that in my soul, for want of a better term. And as always, folks, we'll end with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. All right, folks, I'll leave it there. I've gone on too long. Once again, thank you for all the prayers and all the great comments, and even the stupid comments, actually, because some of them really helped me, funny enough. And I will see you next time. Prep out. God bless.